So the course in Elul will be once a week for 4 weeks. And we will look at 4 modules. The first week, we will look at our relationship with ourselves. The second week, our relationship with others. The third will focus on our relationship with creation. And the fourth will focus on our relationship with the Creator, the Eternal. So I invite you to join me. If you go to my website, you can sign up at the bottom, and I will send you the information as soon as the registration is up. So thanks, Rabbi Miriam, for the introduction. And as always, it's so sweet to be with you all. We're going to start right in. And I'd like us to start right in by finding our feet. Feel your feet. And feel them against whatever it is that they are touching. If they're on the ground, feel them touching the Mother Earth. If they're tucked underneath you on a cushion, feel that cushion and feel the earth underneath that cushion. We're in a time of so much tumult right now that my aim today is for us to embody the possibility of renewal. And it's a question that often comes up when I'm leading. How do I find renewal in a time of so much strife and pain? So we're going to explore that today. And I want to say that I live in North Carolina. Chantal blew through here very, very badly last week. I want to lift up the memory of Sandy Hirschhorn in our community who was swept away last week. And I want to lift up all the children in Texas and the others who've died in North Carolina and in Texas. And I also want to lift up those who are struggling around the country by being lifted out of their homes and lifted off of the streets for no good reason. That's part of the tumult. I invite us to take a breath if that feels right for you. If it's more fitting for you, I invite you to place a hand on your solar plexus. It's just below your diaphragm, above your navel. And you can feel the air moving in and out of your body if you're focusing on your breath. Or you can feel the way your belly feels. And as you continue with your choice, see if you can allow yourself to feel an opening. Sometimes for me, that opening comes from the top of my head, from my crown. Allowing myself to let in that I am not separate from the energy of the cosmos, that I am one with creation, with divinity, with the pulsing heart of eternity. Another option, if you feel inclined, is to bring your awareness to your third eye, just above your eyebrows, but centered. And sometimes a little touch here can be softening. The third eye, the place of intuition, the place that perhaps gets overloaded with trauma. And if it feels comfortable for you, exhale out through the third eye. Inhale in through the same space. And if it's preferable for you, bring your attention to light, the light that lights up that third eye and allows it to see and receive. We'll take a minute or two with these two places, crown and third eye. And notice how your body feels as you allow your awareness to come to either or both of these places. See if you can allow a little bit of calm to come in. And when you're ready on your own time, bring your attention to your neck. Is there stress here? If so, can you soften? Are there tears that want to come out through your throat? This is a safe space. We hold you. Is there a song that wants to be sung? Allow those notes to come through. Is there hurt that needs to be tended? You might take a hand and place it here to let this tenderness know that it's cared for and seen and heard. Allow your body to open as it does. With kindness. And when you're ready, on your own time, bring your awareness to your heart. Again, you may choose to use a hand here or not. Feel the beating, the vibrance that is you, the red vitality pulsing into and out of your heart and through your body. Perhaps your heart needs calming or holding. We are here as a container for you. If your heart breaks, we're here to hold you. The morning prayer after the Baruch Hu reads Yotzer Or Uvarech Choshech Oseh Shalom Uvareh Et HaKol. The Holy Eternal One forms light and creates darkness, makes peace and creates the whole. In the present tense, every moment. As creation is renewed every moment, every breath, we too are renewed every moment. It hurts to feel the pain. And when we do, light pours in. We'll take some quiet time now to explore the shift from light to dark to light, to allow the old to leave and the new to come in. And again, if feelings arise, we are here together. You are a being of light. See if you can feel that within yourself. And call it in if you need more. As a being of light, you bring light in and you offer light out. And this is divine. It is the creation of good. May we be blessed to feel the light and find it when we can't see it. And may we be blessed to give that light out right now in a world that so sorely needs our blessing.
Thank you so much, Robin. Amen. Amen.
You're welcome.
Friends, let's turn now to Kaddish Yatom, to Mourner's Kaddish. Please put in the chat any names of those you're thinking of today. If you're in a period of mourning, if you're marking a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a death, if you're extending love and care to those who have died in other places in the world, let's put their names here and gather in love for them and care and memory. The words of Kaddish are on the screen. Please rise if you wish in body or in spirit. And if you're saying Kaddish, you're welcome to unmute so that we can join together. Buchdahl,
Yikdash Shmei Rabba Rama Tigrach Vite Yomlich Mote V'cheichon Yomechon V'yeh Dichol Beit Yisrael Agala Uzman
Agala ובזמן
Imru
קריב
Amen
ואמרו אמן.
Yeh
יהי
Shmei
שמי רבא
המבורך הוא לעולמי עלמי.
מיה
Shabbat
ישתבח
Shalom
בשם
Completeness
הר והתרומם
Dar V'Tame V'Tchal
תדע
V'Shar
ותעלה
Elam
ובריחו
B'Chata V'Nechemata V'Amira Mimo
לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה
Eish
ושמחתה
Lamachamo Shema
ונחמתה
Yehi
ואמירן
Mishum
בעלמא
El
Salam
Amen.
Rabba Min Shamayim.
רבה בין
Shalom
שמיים
Aleinu
וחוגגים
Malenu
עלינו
V'Echol
ועל כל
Yisrael
ישראל.
Aleinu
V'Yisrael.
Vel Kol
אמן.
Yisrael
Say Shalom V'Shalom.
Im
Malenu
Shalom
V'Echol
על כל
Yisrael.
יושבי תבל אמרו
Amen.
אמן.
Leinu vel kol Yisrael,
Amen.
kol yoshvei tevel, oh, amen.
Amen.
May their memories be for a blessing, and may all those who are in mourning be held in love and support. Amen. We have time now, dear ones, to be in conversation with Robin. If you have a question, please write in bold question as you write in the chat so it's easy to see. And I'll just take a look for a moment. Not yet. Okay, so please send in your questions, reflections. But maybe I'll begin, if I may, Robin. You took us through this beautiful journey in and through the body. Starting with the feet on the ground, you moved. I'm not remembering the order exactly. Solar plexus, third eye, crown of the head, throat, heart. I wonder if you could give us a little bit of the behind the scenes understanding and how you relate. I know relationship to the body is so central in your Torah, your teaching. If you can explain a little bit about the journey you guided us through.
Yeah, thank you. I thought about it, Miriam, in advance, and I thought about whether or not I would talk about the chakras or the sphirot, and I decided to just see where my being felt guided to be. And where I almost always begin is by grounding us to the Mama Earth, to the floor, to the ground. And even if we're in a 30-foot, 30 story high rise, to really remember that we're being supported by the ground. And for me, that allows me to kind of let my energy fall through and not get stuck as much as it might otherwise. And then I just felt that the solar plexus, a lot of emotions get put here. Things that are over maybe rage, maybe just grabbing. And so since the solar plexus expands and releases with our breath, it felt like the natural next place to go, to simply allow ourselves to be with our breath, recognizing that not everyone is comfortable focusing on the breath. But yet, if we take a hand, or if we feel this area in some way, or put our visual to see it, we can create a relationship to open that energy so it's moving and not stuck. Mm-hmm. And then I just went, okay, so we're down in the ground. We got the belly moving, and now we got to connect up. Mm-hmm. And again, for me, when I opened this area in the top of my head, it really is a moment of saying, right, I'm not alone. And I can feel that. I can feel myself connected, and it washes away a lot of my personal angst. Mm. Third eye, another place of calming. And I think about the fact that we spend so much time in front of computer screens or phone screens or iPad screens, and we're drilling light all the time into this very vulnerable place that I think shuts down as a result of too much input, whether it's too much light from electronics or too much trauma, as I think I mentioned, from the world. So to allow this to soften and allow that wisdom that we have inside to come out, and also to simply be, to simply notice that we may be feeling lost, or we may be feeling tender, or we may be feeling uncertain. And then back to the heart, to bring the vitality into all of the throat. I forgot the throat. Do we need to scream? Do we need to cry? Are we holding? So to allow our communication reservoir, if you will, to wake itself up and see where it is, and then again to the heart, to recognize that interconnection of all the veins and blood vessels and lymph and the bones and the sinews that It's like we are that tree. These are our branches and our trunk, and our trunk goes down through our feet, just pumping energy throughout our whole self, which gives us the continuous opportunity to renew. So that's kind of where I was.
Mm, beautiful. Thank you. And I appreciate you not explaining it. Initially, that I think that's so often that's such a valuable engagement to invite everyone to experience it directly rather than it being overly narrated. And it's helpful to sort of drop into our own experience and then get to hear afterwards, oh, it's lovely, it's illuminating to hear a little of how of the wisdom that you're drawing from and engaging as you're guiding us. So that's it's the both and that's really
Yeah. Thank
lovely.
you. And there's one thing it's always just a subtle nuance that people can be feeling a wide variety of experiences, and they may not have any of the experiences that I'm suggesting. And
Mhm,
that's always one of those like delicate places.
mhm,
Um, so I took a bit of a risk, but also, held it so that there was space for people to explore what was there for them.
mhm. Lovely. There's a nice technical question here. What emotion is solar plexus related to?
Well, solar plexus is about the will. So I think that it could be considered associated with anger. The liver is on the right side, like literally to the right part of the solar plexus, and the liver in Chinese medicine is associated with anger, liver and gallbladder. So it could be that. Um, I think also the possibility of feeling stifled, right? Think about how we feel literally when we can't breathe. There may be panic, but there's also that feeling of being constricted and contracted and just not being given space. I'm going to try to move back here. Not being given space to really be who one is.
Mm, beautiful. There were,
Nancy said Gavora. So Gavora's left shoulder, and solar plexus is more Netzach and Hod. Um, so I think that there's real physical energy, right?
you
In the solar
describe,
plexus.
sorry, would you translate and describe those terms for anyone who may
Yeah,
not be
yeah. So
following?
Netzach is understood as literally like physical vibration, and it can be the energy of perseverance, can be a sweet, subtle energy that keeps us going in difficult times. It could also be an over persevering, but it is that physical energy, that vitality. And Hod, we often think of as beauty, beauty of form. And if you can imagine taking that physical energy on the right side and putting it into form, I often think about like a gazelle leaping or dance, where we are really expressing the beauty of our vitality. Um, and again, if that's held, then we can't let that out or
Mm.
can't even feel it.
I want to ask something connected to that holding. There was a comment in the chat and then many pluses and thumbs and hearts in response to
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Catherine wrote, I loved the phrase tears in our throat.
Mm,
And I think when there's so much that's painful and fearful, um, people hold in different places. But as you were saying, the throat is such a place of expression,
right.
held expression. I wonder if there's more that you might say about what's the dynamic of the holding and anything else you might add. I mean, the practice gave us some good ways for exploring the softening, the opening. What helps us go from the constricted to
Well,
expression?
that's a great question. And what I want to start with is saying that I I make up that when we're feeling constricted here, it's that we don't feel we have permission to express. And that may not be so for everyone, I think if we felt comfortable expressing, we wouldn't be holding it inside. Maybe we feel afraid. Maybe we feel it's useless. Maybe we feel tired of just like how much trauma can we manage? We've been traumatized since October 7th, and we were traumatized even before then. So I would suggest that the first thing is simply giving ourselves permission to simply say, oh, huh, that feels really, really like tense. Or I don't think about this part of myself that much. Or my gosh, I'm yelling a lot lately. So maybe to create a relationship with the possibility of expressing whatever that expression is, even if it's simply curling up into a ball and crying and saying, you know, like being the parent that says it's okay, you're being held, it's okay.
And that your being held piece that you brought in so beautifully is essential to feel like we are supported. I've
Yeah.
heard so many people talk about a fear of letting the grief be expressed or the anger be expressed. Somebody said to me the other day, if I open it, it will be endless.
Right.
That fear of being flooded by it, which is an understandable concern.
Right.
But that anchoring in being held, knowing we're held, that you brought us into is such an important partner with the expression. I don't know if there's more that you want to say about that.
Yeah, I would just say that when we're not in a setting with others, whether it's like this, which IJS offers us such an incredible gift, but even if we're not with friends or family and we are literally feeling alone, to really remember and maybe call up this memory or call up another memory of when you felt safe and when you felt held and hold that, like wear it, you know, like we wrap ourselves in a talit of protection, like wear that and say, oh, yes, I can feel the trees. I can feel the trees nourishing me. I can feel my friends and family nourishing me. I can feel this community nourishing me. Whatever it is that is a meaningful container of support for you know for you, for all of the yous that are with us today, because we need that, right? We need that, or I think we'll explode or implode, one or the other.
Indeed.
Yeah.
There are two questions related to the third eye.
Mm.
First is, can you explain how to access the third eye and its purposes? And could you talk more about breathing in and out through the third eye? I've not ever been guided in that way.
Okay. So third eye, what I find is that when I allow myself to quiet, if I really am quieting, like this area, it will open on its own, and I can almost feel an eye in there. It's obviously not, you know, I haven't gotten to the triclops level yet, but it's definitely sometimes a physical sensation. Sometimes it's more subtle. But what happens is that I feel my forehead soften, and I'm going to take my glasses off here. I allow this area to breathe, like you let your hand breathe, right? We don't have lungs in our hand, but we can feel air around our fingers and around our wrists. And we can allow that to come in just subtly, like feeling the air over yourself. And for me, when it opens, it's like energy goes out and energy comes in, and energy goes out and comes in. It's almost like the eye in the prism on the dollar bill, that it's a conduit. And I learned that deep behind the third eye is the pituitary. When we can allow this area to soften, even if we literally have to do this with our fingers, that we permit the pituitary to also relax and to bring our body back into hormonal balance. So there are physiological and spiritual capacities simultaneously.
Beautiful. Thank
I
you.
hope that was helpful.
So vivid as well, and such invitation for ongoing practice. We've reached the end of our time so quickly. Robin, I want to thank you so
Oh,
much for
my
guiding,
pleasure. Thank
teaching
you.
us today. Thank you again, Harry, for your
Thanks,
tech
everyone.
support and skill. And thank you, everyone, for being here in practice. May you have a beautiful and easeful day.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.